and thanks for joining the PCSS Connection podcast this week. I'm Buddy Pearson, the Communications and Marketing Supervisor. Well, we love to recognize our educators, and we recently recognized our Novice Teachers of the Year. Now, these are outstanding educators who are making a powerful impact early in their careers. These dedicated teachers spend the majority of their day directly instructing students. They lead classrooms through lesson planning, grading, assessment, and family communication. They have between 10 and 30 months of classroom experience. They go above and beyond to support, encourage, and inspire their students every day. And, we are proud of their commitment, passion, and the difference they're making in our schools. They are definitely rising stars in education. And joining us now is one of the Novice Teachers of the Year, Alex Fields from Upperman High School. Alex, first of all, congratulations. Man, what an honor to be recognized as one of the top novice teachers in the county.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
Alex and I, we go back a little bit.
We do.
We actually do. So I was actually a counselor at Boise State when he was a delegate at Boise State at Tennessee Tech, and he was in my city, and we had a pretty good time.
It was a great time.
It was
Levi's,
fun.
I think.
Levi's City, that's right, all the way, man.
That was great.
Rising senior. You've come a long way since then. I remember you distinctly because you were an outstanding leader then, and did you know then when we were at Boise State that you wanted to go into teaching, that you wanted to be a teacher?
I was conscious of it. I wasn't for sure about teaching. At the time, I wanted to teach English, but then I went to Boise State and realized how much fun things like law and social studies are. I've kind of changed my mind over the years by having different teachers. My principal right now, he was my teacher in high school.
Really?
So, and he taught history, and that
Justin
kind of
Campbell,
also
yes.
is a little connection that's very interesting to have.
So now what do you teach at Upperman High School?
I teach AP World History, AP European History, and World History and Geography with freshmen in that course.
Oh, wow. And have you been teaching that the whole time you've been at Upperman High School? Yes,
I started at Upperman in August. Previously, I taught science and social studies at Prescott South Middle School.
Okay.
And that was a wonderful time over there, too.
Yeah. So you after graduating from high school, you went to college, so I imagine you majored in education in college.
I did, secondary education of social studies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's it like to be able to come back to your alma mater and teach there?
I think it's a very special experience. I had a lot of pride in my school once I was there. Mm-hmm. I never really thought I would return so soon. I've always liked living in Putnam County. It's been my community since I was born, and being able to teach at there is a privilege. It really is. I love all of our school systems. We have good administration, and it's just been a great time. So I think it's really nice to be with my alma mater.
I can remember going down to Upperman and getting some video during homecoming week, and you're out there and you're helping with the floats, and obviously you're probably remembering what it was like for you during homecoming and being able to share that with students now. That's got to be pretty special.
It is. I think the students can connect to that. There's many teachers that are Upperman alumni at Upperman High School, and a lot of the kids can feel those connections, when we're talking about some maybe family members they had or people that their family know of, and having those connections with the kids helps with building those relationships.
Yeah. You being a novice teacher means, you're obviously bright, you're doing the right things, it's still a young career. How have you made the transition from student at Upperman to teacher at Upperman?
I think the transition goes from where are you going to go in between. Mm-hmm. And I went to Tennessee Tech University for my degree. Yeah. And going there, still being a part of the community, and separating myself from what it was like to be a student at a high school versus a university. Yeah. You kind of put things in perspective. Things I liked as a student at Upperman, I could think about what would I want to do in my future classroom. Yeah. Not necessarily things I would want to change, but what could I continue to do, or what would I do differently? Yeah,
that's great. I remember you liked to play a little soccer.
I did. Yeah. I very much so enjoyed playing soccer with Upperman. Coach Moore does a great job with our boys and girls there right now. I've currently picked up coaching tennis.
Really?
Yes. I played a little bit of tennis in college with my friends, but I never played, competitively until I really started getting into it as a hobby. Yeah. And there was an opportunity to start coaching, and my tennis team is great. They are fantastic. I've got some wonderful seniors and some up-and-coming underclassmen that are doing great too. And
now, where do y'all practice?
So we practice next to Avery Trace.
Okay.
Our practice will start in February.
Yeah.
We've been conditioning at Cornerstone. They've got some courts there, so
yeah.
they've been enjoying using their time there. A lot of them already use that area, and we do a lot of working out just to get ready for the season. So it's been a great time. I'm very proud of them.
Now, how different is it being a student at Upperman now than when you were a student at Upperman High School? Is there a big difference?
I would say culturally there's a shift, with COVID happening and there being a larger difference there. You're going to see those differences. Mm-hmm. Different generation of kids, there's different things going around. Mm-hmm. And with those differences, you'll see the kids' maybe personalities could be different. But I think the school spirit is still there. Yeah. And I think it's always evolving, always changing. But Upperman has pride, and that's something that's super important. And they always say, you pride, and they're always bragging on their kids. And I want to continue to do that because my students deserve it. I was just telling my 7th block right before I headed this way. They were doing really good in some of their work. I was very proud of them. So, yeah. And I'm always proud of my kids.
In spite of the distraction of potential snow, which has been distracting all of us, around the school system, because anytime we get flurries, it's like, got to call school, but
right.
Didn't happen this time.
No, not this time. Maybe another time.
Maybe another time.
A little bit
plenty
more
of
on the
snow
radar.
days left. Yeah,
it'll be good.
Well. Do you see yourself being at Upperman for a long period of time? Do you think that's where you want to be, you want to stay?
I love being at Upperman. I'd love to stay there. I think with careers such as teaching and being so young, it's good to be, ready to go into anything,
sure.
Take opportunities. But right now I'm in a place where I could see myself being there for the rest of my career, or I'm taking trajectory and going into other careers with the people there, with the connections that I have there.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately time will tell.
Yeah.
And for now and forevermore, I'm definitely proud to be an Upperman B.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again, and man, I'm proud of you to see where you've come from Boise State. Of course, they're the best of the best is at Boise State, so it's not a surprise to see you as one of the novice teachers of the year, especially at Upperman High School.
Well, thank you very much. I don't think I could do it without the community I have, and especially without my students being so motivated and ready to learn.
Awesome. Alex Fields, the novice teacher of the year for Upperman High School and one of several around the county. Thanks again for being with us, and man, good luck. Go Bees.
Thank you. Go Bees.
Time now for our supervisor check-in with Jackie Vester, who is the Supervisor of Career and Technical Education here at Putnam County Schools, and fresh off a trip to Orlando where it's a lot warmer. It wasn't snowing down there.
No, not at all.
Got a little sun on the face, can tell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you come back and you get here and it's in the 20s and snowing.
I know. It was a little bit of a shock to come back from Florida, but it was really great. I got to present at the FETC conference, and so that's just always such a good experience to go down and network with other supervisors and educators.
Yeah, what an awesome opportunity. And you come back and there's so much stuff going on. I know that, the second semester, the third 9 weeks has started, and we're kind of in that home stretch now, looking toward the spring and getting into graduation. But from a CTE perspective, man, you've got all kinds of stuff going on.
Oh, yeah, we always do.
I know.
We don't sleep in CTE.
You don't. You do not. That's what makes it exciting. All right, let's talk about the veterinary and animal science pathway, getting hands-on experience with a small animal grooming lab. That looks pretty cool.
Oh, yes, it's very cool. So we are very fortunate. We actually have 2 grooming labs. We have one at Cookville High School and one at Monterey High School. So the lab at Cookville High School was bought with our innovative school money.
Right.
And then the one at Monterey, they wrote for a grant through the FFA organization, and they received that. And so just recently, it's the newest, so the guinea pigs happened to be my personal dogs that had to go up and be the first to be groomed. But they looked great after. The kids did a great job.
Awesome. So, and when they say small, I have a mini doodle that weighs about 50 pounds.
Yeah, that still counts. Okay. That still counts in our small animal care. Remember, we're in agriculture. We're talking small versus like cattle.
Okay.
And
right. Yeah, just want to make sure. Talking about FFA, Man, there's always so much great stuff going on at FFA. And our 3 chapters, Upperman, Cookeville High, and Monterey, seem to be 3 of the top chapters in the state year after year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Our students are always succeeding in Putnam County, where all of our CTSOs are gearing up to go into state competition time.
Yeah.
And so FFA recently, they're working on LDEs, which are leadership development events,
Okay.
and so individual speaking. And at the district contest, there are 8 positions that move on, like 8 spots,
Right.
and 7 of them were Putnam County students
Really?
out of
Yeah.
the Highland Rim. So that's
And
pretty
that's awesome.
exciting.
And that was just held at Cookeville High School.
That was just held at Cookeville High School, yes.
Yes.
So we had 7 of the 8 that move on were Putnam County students.
Wow. Now,
So
where do
that's
they go
exciting.
from here? Do they go to state?
So from districts, they'll go to subsections.
Okay.
So a north and a south subsection, and then they'll take the top 3 from each of those to go to regions, and then that goes on to state, the top students there, the top 2.
Awesome, awesome. One of the most exciting things is going on at Cookeville High in the Independence House. And we see Randy Mansell's class there just doing an unbelievable job. And we talk about this, where they always build a house, every year, and then they auction it off.
Mm-hmm.
And this year they're building the Independence House, which is for the Independence Program, which is for the special needs folks between the ages of 18 and 22. They've graduated high school, and, they come and there's a great program. We always go to the Independence Program graduation
Yes.
in the spring. It's always remarkable. But the way they're coming together to create this house, and it's not just a house. I mean, this is going to be the home for this Independence Program, and you have a student who is, like in charge of the project.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been over there and I've seen the students working, and to see the level of expertise that's going on, and then the pride that they're taking on this house, and then the way the community is coming together. I mean, for you to sit back and see the firsthand experience that our students are getting, this is incredible.
Yes, it's such a great opportunity for our students. I think it's paying dividends that we didn't even expect.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be a good project, but just seeing it come to life, it's a great project.
Yeah.
It's exceeded our expectations. The support from the community has been amazing. I know, Mr. Mansell, the teacher there, he's
Yeah.
continually updating me on just everyone that wants to get involved in the project. And then
Right.
we're really fortunate that, Vicki, the project manager, she
Yes.
even comes to the board meetings.
I love seeing her come
updates
to the board meeting.
Yes.
And she's up there with those, other project managers of other construction companies that's doing stuff in the school system. And she gets right up there, and man, I mean, she just gives her report just like they do.
Yes, and so it's so great. When I had to fill in for her, I did not do her justice. She does such a great job, and she knows what's going on. And even, before I came on, she's the one who gave me some touch points.
Yeah.
Because, they keep me informed, but it's moving so quickly.
Yeah.
They're staying on target. The timeline is working out great. And so just every time I talk to them, there's something new going on.
I went over there right before, actually it was right before Christmas break, and Cookeville High was actually out, and some of the students showed up to do some of the electrical work. Even though they didn't have to be at school that day. They showed up, and then they were inside. It was cold. They were inside. They were working. They were doing electrical stuff. And then they came and they put the brick around, and man, how pretty is it now? It looks awesome.
It looks so great with the brick. I know they were updating me that, of course, Steve Vandevorty and
Yes.
he sends his crews out,
Yeah.
and then his crews work with the students so that they're able to do the electrical and
Yeah.
do the plumbing. And so they have that all done. The water heater's in. They've moved on. Cookeville Heating and Cooling is out there,
Yeah.
and they're working with the students. They're going to put the whole HVAC system in. The students are going to put that in. I think they're working on running the ductwork right now. The rough-in inspection's complete and
Wow.
passed. So they're going to start next week. They'll deliver the drywall supplies.
So like the heating and cooling stuff, this is all new to them, because usually they just had the shell of the house that they would sell, and wherever it was taken to, that's where they would do all that stuff. So this is all new to them.
Yes. So typically it'll be rough plumbed,
Yeah.
and it'll have the basic electrical,
Right.
but they're actually getting to now run to the main the main point of access.
Yeah.
They're getting to do parts of the plumbing that they've never done before because it's going to be, it's site built instead of stick built.
That's
so
awesome.
that's very different.
So exciting stuff. What else is happening in the world of CTE?
Oh, goodness. Well, of course, like I said, all of our CTSOs, our career student technical organizations, are gearing up for state conferences.
Right.
And for those who tune in regularly, last year we had quite a few that won and went to compete nationally. So I know that's exciting, but then it also brings a little bit this year of, okay, we have to live up to that. There's some
expectations.
Yes,
that's right.
for sure. So they're gearing up with that. Our HOSA chapters have been in full swing with their blood drives. Cookeville had a blood drive last week, and I believe Upperman's is tomorrow, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of the things that I didn't know, I of course stopped by the blood drives, but Blood Assurance said that 20% of the blood they get comes from high school blood drives.
Really?
And so that the high school blood drives play a huge role in our supply in our area.
Wow, I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
That's amazing. And, I think it shows how much these students want to help.
Yes.
I mean, they're aware of what it means to be able to give blood, and for 20%, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a huge piece, and so we're really glad that we're able to do that. And then I know the chapters get recognized at the state HOSA conference because they've run these blood drives and helped support our community.
Yeah. Well, I know it's a busy time for you. Plus, you have a daughter who's playing basketball at Monterey High School.
Of course,
and as a mom, you've got to go do all these things too. But it's always so much fun to talk about CTE stuff because it is so much fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I couldn't be in a better department than with CTE. We've got great teachers, great students, and just great things to do, for those students.
If somebody wants to check out, say you've got some students that's coming into high school and they're like, I want to check this out. What can I do? Where can I go? How can they, look at CTE stuff?
So it's that season where our rising ninth graders, we're starting to bring them over to the schools. So in the Cookeville area, we bring them over for a program of study, and then we're going to have an open house where parents can come and check out the programs of study. Upperman does the same thing. And then Monterey is a little different because the 7th and 8th graders have been in there.
Right.
So they actually do a tour with the students of our CTE programs during the school day since they're there and they're in the building. They're already there. So they get to see some of those things. So it's slightly different, but they still get that access. So, we try to make sure that all the students have the opportunity to see all the CTE programs that we have. And if you're a parent and you can go to one of those open houses, I highly recommend it because our CTE classrooms and labs look so different than when I was in high school.
It's amazing.
And so just, see those changes for yourself and what your student's going to be involved in.
And really, career and technical education is growing so much, and we see more and more students using that path because when they get out, then they're job ready. I mean, they're ready to get a job. They're ready to start working. They're ready to start having a life. And you don't have to go to college. And that's just college isn't for everybody.
That's right.
And you can't go wrong with career and technical education and these jobs that are out there because there are jobs available.
Yes, and I just think it's important that we're making sure that no matter what, in Putnam County Schools, we're making sure no matter what our students want to do when they graduate, they have the tools to do that.
Right,
And
they're learning something. They're learning a trade.
Yes.
They're learning these things.
Yep, so they could go to college or straight into career, and they've got the toolbox to do it. So.
All right, Jackie Vester, our CTE supervisor here at Putnam County Schools, thanks so much, and sorry that you had to come back to the cold weather.
I know. I'm sorry about that, but, thanks for having me.
All right. Well, the Upperman girls bowling team has had an awesome year. The Lady Bees won their first ever region tournament, and then they got to turn around and host their first ever sectional match at the Bowling World in Cookeville. Upperman battled Green Hill for the right to go to state, and after an incredibly close contest, Green Hill edged Upperman by 1 point. I think the difference was about 10 pins to win the sectional. Nevertheless, it's been the best season ever for the Upperman Lady Bees.
Yes, it was a very great season. This is the first time our girls have ever won any kind of regional match, much less the regional tournament. Because of that, they got to host the sub-state here at Cookeville Bowling World. Yeah, we lost 14-13. We needed to win one of the two Baker games, which we did, but we needed to make up the Baker total, and that's where we fell short by 10 pins. It's a special group of girls. I have 4 or 5 that were just very strong and team leaders all year. I've not had that over the 20, I think, years now of having a high school girls bowling team. And I had a lot of leadership, a lot of girls who love each other and care for each other. And today's loss is hard for them, but they can go down saying they're the best Upperman girls bowling team ever. Olivia Noggle and Callie Patton get to go to the state and bowl individually next week in Smyrna to try to win the state individual title.
If you had to put the whole season into perspective, what would you say?
Fun, but very competitive. These girls are very competitive.
And that's going to do it for the PCS Connection for this week. You know, they are calling for some of the white stuff this week, particularly this weekend. So be sure to check out our social media pages, check out our Instagram, check out our Facebook page, and also stay up to date on your Parent Square app for any changes there might be in the schedule for Putnam County schools. We'll see what happens. Hey, have a great week. God bless everybody.